Hey, it's been a while since I've done a video. I did a talk for the roguelike celebration last month. I don't think the recordings are up yet, but I'll post when that is. But yeah, I've been wanting to check in to say, look, I'm still alive, I'm still working. I'm just not really sure what to talk about. Like, the game's in a stage where it's just progressing. A lot of making things is craft, right? Like the concepts, the ideas matter, but at some point you're just doing the work and building it, and that's where I am. Like, everything conceptual that I want to publicly talk about before it's released, I've really covered, I think. And there's a lot of words being spilled about the game in my little playtest group. We have big discussions about the balance of various costs in the game and how things work and exploits and so on. So there's a lot of words going on between testers and collaborators, and you're not seeing any of that. So you're not seeing the progress. But that. You always... I'm not a huge believer in spoilers, but like, you're still trying to... It's not so much about spoilers, it's about like what... When you're making an artwork, it speaks for itself, and anything the creator says about it is just their interpretation. Death of the author, blah blah. Like, it's a cliche, but it's kind of... What I have to say about it is probably interesting, but I know more about it than most people, but it's still just my perspective. And when I'm working on a game, it feels like it takes on a life of its own, and it's some alien thing from outside the universe that has come through me as a channel and incarnated itself in this plane, and like, partly that channel happens by me having ideas about it and understanding what's going to happen in it, but there's a lot of times when I just feel like something must go into it, and I only possess the verbal explanation for why much later, and like, you can say that's the subconscious or whatever, but like the practical way of working with it is to treat the game as having a mind of its own. Like, it's obviously literally doesn't, but you get better results by treating it as though it does, because if you're listening, it will speak to you. If you're not listening, then then you don't get the information. Like, you have to cultivate a certain practical mysticism to work as an artist. It's because like okay, sure, it's just the subconscious, but that is how you bridge to the subconscious to transfer information back and forth, to be able to actually build up a working relationship with the underneath or the beyond or whatever. Yeah, so I have things that I might say about it once it's released. What can I say about it now? That, like, this week I did an update that fixed like 15 different interactions with one particular power-up, and that's a lot of what the work is at this point. There's a lot of devices and bonus power-ups and other things that shift the rules of the game in various ways, and they all have to work in all combinations. And yeah, so a big part of my work at this point is checking every single combination works. And yeah, it was a nice step to just go through. I have this like thousands of lines text file that has all the known issues and things to do, and I just went through every instance of this particular power-up and closed out everything that interacted with it, and that felt good to do. And if I just do that for each other one, then they're done. But that was a big day. I don't manage a day like that every day, but I'm doing well. Yeah, so you know, I predicted this game would come out mid this year, and like now I said late this year, but people have convinced me that December is not the right time, so let's say early next year. Much of a muchness. Mainly that's because it turned out to be a bigger project than I thought it was. Since I did the crowdfunding in last year, I let it grow a little bit, because I was like, oh, people are excited about it, I'm working on it, and I allowed some ideas to come that were exciting, and made a lot more work for myself, but have really enriched the game, so that's been worthwhile. Some moments I've worked a bit slower than I expected, but I had mostly accounted for that, because I'm still working much faster this year than I was last year, and yeah, in general my health has been pretty good. There's still moments, but never like it was. So when do I last update? We've moved into a new house, new apartment, and it has one more bedroom, which is good, because one bedroom was getting a bit small for us. It's near the beach, which is a real plus, and it's the same price as the other one was going to go up to, but with an extra bedroom and a nearby beach, so it's definitely an upgrade. But still, it's a higher cost. So everything's been going up. That's we're pretty much working on the assumption that the game is going to make some money. So it will be. I'm not sure what we'll do if it doesn't, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. Just have to do the best job I can making it, and it'll work out, hopefully. Yeah, so we had a moving house was a bunch of work, obviously, and so that took a bit of time. And still most things are in boxes, and we haven't put up all the shelves yet. So it's every time we spend a day on like sorting the house out, then it gets freer, and then it's easier to do everything else. So it's worth doing, but it's still. It's hard to fit in doing days of that work between days of actual externally focused work. So yeah, it's getting better, and it will hopefully be more better sooner. We moved out, and then we had a month between contracts, so our stuff was in storage, and it ended up being just me with the, obviously we hired movers, but it was just me with them moving in, which like I having to like tell them where everything should go from our plans that we like had made, but like it didn't necessarily, the plans didn't necessarily fit well with the order that the boxes were coming off the truck, and just try and manage that, and also pitching in helping moving boxes, because otherwise it would have taken forever. It was a huge day for me, and I had some recovery needed after that. But it also felt good to be able to physically do that work, because a couple of years ago I literally couldn't. Like I go to the beach and there's some exercise bars, and there's these like big ass Brazilian guys who are just like doing all this stuff all day, and like you can feel pretty puny compared to that, but I look at that and it's like, yeah, that's something to aspire to. Maybe I can build up the strength to do that one day, but still what I can do right now is more than I could do in the midst of the worst of the pandemic. So yeah, it's things. But I've been going in the sea every day, and that helps. That's nice. Some days it's full of people because it's sunny. Some days it's just a handful of surfers, and I like those days when it's a bit cold and there's just a handful of people on the beach. There's like, we don't necessarily talk to each other or anything, but there's just a fellow feeling that you know everyone is here because they love the ocean in all its moods, and because when it's cold, you're not going to be getting in the water unless it's something you enjoy. So it's like, we're and some days there's nobody else there, and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just being an odd person. And but I have a streak going, and it's not so much about the streak, but it is a good practice to do something physical, embodied every day, and that's what's working out for me at the moment. And Tara's doing it too, so we're supporting each other in that, and that helps. I think I mentioned I was in between movings I was in Sao Pedro do Sul for a month and went swimming in the river there every day, sometimes twice a day, once or twice, 3 times, and that was beautiful. One time there were otters, and I was swimming with the otters, and it was just like this real blessing from the river gods. Like, and then there was a heron, and yeah, and it's going there at night time when it's completely still, except like there was a football stadium nearby, so there's like bright floodlights. That was not always the idyllic peacefulness, but still, you know, little town, not a complete isolated place. But yeah, just doing things that are good for convalescence, because I don't know how I would be if I just tried to keep working as much as I could through. Like, I could still be as sick as I was in 2020. Like, I don't know. But it's long. It's long to recover, and that's hard. But I'm doing good work now, and yeah, it feels good. It's invigorating and restorative itself to be creative and productive, and you know, one wants to work. Like, there's like productivity culture, hustle that can be damaging, but like we're built to work. We're built to do something fulfilling, and yeah, that was maybe the hardest thing when I was fully disabled, that I couldn't work. I don't know. There are lots of hard things. Can't really say. But yeah, I'll keep keeping you updated, and just keep this a short one. Like, I'm alive. I'm working. The game is coming along. Yeah, it's a lot of this resolving all the interactions between different elements, but I'm just trying to like bang through those and close those out, and then it'll be mostly like animations and juice and sound effects and stuff like that, and finishing the tile sets. I've got 5 different tile sets. One of them is like 95% complete. 2 of them are 75 or so. One's about 50 and one is basically not done. So those end up being a bit of work for me, but they're cool. It feels good to have the different tile sets. It really gives different kinds of servers a different flavour to have the different core graphics. It's like heck, just use a different colour palette, which like did the job, but yeah, it's nice doing a sequel. Just like go sometimes a bit over and above. The game never needed a sequel. I was just reading it because Eggplant's doing a series on my games, which is amazing. Someone was sharing on the Discord there some reviews from aaah when it came out, and one described it as a perfect game. I was just like, yeah, I mean, it was a game that never needed a sequel, but I'm making one, and that, like, I hope that's funny, right? Like, the very concept of a sequel is a little bit ridiculous, and I hope that's clear, that I'm playing at doing the ridiculous thing that boring AAA studios do, but I'm also doing a genuinely worthwhile creative work. Yeah. Anyway, you'll see. Like, there's so much that's just not like. It's better that you just wait and then you play the game, and I don't talk about it. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for your ongoing support. People people who have still supported my Patreon stuff, and thank you people who've supported in the past. And yeah, it's amazing just to like look and think like how much I've been held up by you all, by family, by friends, by fans, by people who only know me through my work. Like that I just in the last few years received so much support, and that has got me back to where I'm doing amazing work again. And yeah, I don't know where I'd be without all that. Yeah, we didn't have, like, we had a little bit of savings, and we went through all of that in the worst of the pandemic, just surviving, and then what? Like, if I hadn't had support from a whole bunch of people, like, I don't even know. But it's working out, and I'm gonna release the game, and then like hopefully everything's just like amazing. And yeah, it's a strange world. Okay, thank you, goodbye, and I'll stay in touch.